about sharing some tips? People that are out there doing their thing, they could certainly come to you and you would take care of all of that stuff. But if they were doing their own thing, what are the top three things you would say, hey, you need to make sure you need to do this, this, and this?
All right, let's do a top tip. Let's start with the small man here. That single member, I'm busy, I do everything. I recommend getting QuickBooks Self-Employed. It's going to help you with, it has everything kind of built into it. It's got a mileage app, so basically you can just take pictures of receipts, put them in, it'll track your mileage. It's basically built for the self-employed person. If they put in information from their previous tax return, it'll tell them, as long as they keep up on it, at the quarter you owe a tax payment of this and this. So it's a great way to help them simplify their expenses. It keeps it, for me, it's too dumbed down, we would say, in the accounting field.
Okay.
So when they send me an invite to use it to prepare their return, I'm looking at it going, this is really simple and too simple for me. But for them, that's what they need. Get them on the right foot.
Big step in the right direction.
Yeah, you're never too small to actually have accounting and financial statements.
Right. Okay. What else?
2 would be start working and learning how to understand those statements, because there's a story behind it. You can see patterns, you can see trends of months were busy, months were slow.
How would they learn to read the story or understand the story?
Doing comparison within their reports in QuickBooks. You can say compare to previous period, compare to last year. So it'll lay a June over June of last year, and you can see, hey, I'm up from last June, I'm down.
This month versus last month, this year versus this time last year.
It'll be this quarter versus the second quarter of 19 versus first quarter of 19. You can put percentages on there to see how much you're up, how much you're down. And
those are the metrics.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah.
It's helpful. I remember when we just had our second kid, John, and I looked at it, because you were off for the month. You took a month off.
Okay.
But when I went back to work, I looked at it, and there was no income for that month. When I looked at the financial statement, it drove me to be like, I never want to be here again.
Yeah.
I never want to have zero income for a month.
No, that's pretty harsh. That's pretty harsh. All right. So if you moved into a slightly bigger business, somebody with employees, what would you share? What would be your top tip for them?
Having someone take over that stuff so you can manage your business. And I recommend having multiple advisors. So my favorite is having a coach, having an accountant. The more accountability you have, the more chances of success your business is going to achieve.
Well, it allows you to focus in on what you're really good at.
Absolutely.
So you could hire an accountant if you were big enough to pay for an accountant. More often than not, until you get to a certain size, it doesn't make sense to have a full-time accountant.
Absolutely, yeah.
But somebody has to do that. And if you're in that business that has employees, it probably shouldn't be the owner.
No, not at all. You've got employees to manage.
You got too much stuff to do.
Watch. You want to help them with their productivity, be focusing on them. And you want someone who's going to help you read that stuff, keep up on that stuff, and make sure your bills are paid and things are getting done, not falling behind.
Yeah. So if somebody was interested in talking to you about your business and your services, we're going to put some information at the end of this video to help them reach out to you. But do you offer a free consultation?
Absolutely. If we can get together and talk about your accounting, look at them, just bring your QuickBooks and look it over and discuss some things. I can ask you some questions. I can send you a questionnaire ahead of time to kind of get a basic idea of where you're at and what your needs are.
And then be able to give them a flavor of whether this makes some sense to engage your services or not.
Absolutely. I give them, my goal is I hope you learn something from my talk.
Yeah.
If you don't use me, hey, maybe you learned one thing, and then my job is
and I'm very similar. I offer the first session's always complimentary, and I just want to do what I can to help you. Pick up a couple things, and off you go. Fine. If we decide to work together, okay, then we'll work something out. We'll decide what that is. So,
absolutely. Yeah. I think the small business arena, we don't want to be charging them for every little thing. Help them grow.
Yeah.